to, review. Test tomorrow will look a whole lot like this. Change the numbers. Remember that the first step says to simplify, and that means to combine like terms and remove parentheses. If these are on the same side, you do not do opposites, you just put together and combine, okay? So then we've got -10, add 10 to both sides. And so K would be equal because they have different signs. You would subtract, take the sign of the bigger number, did you get -7?
Yes.
Yes. Very good. All right, number 2.
Yes, ma'am. Wait, I thought that was number 2.
No, that was number 1 back.
Oh, I wrote down the wrong thing. I put 27. Wait,
No,
I did the problem wrong.
Okay. All right. All right, number 2. All right, number 2, a lot similar to number 1, I had like term, and over here I do 2, they're together on the same side, so I combine like terms. Take the sign of the bigger number, had to subtract because they had different signs, then divide by -2. K, again, is -7. Let's just go at some. All right, questions about that? Number 3. We got a lot of like terms here. As long as they're on the same side, we just put them together. What would I have with a -6, a -5, and then a +2? -9. Good. What is 6A minus 1A? 5A. Now I need to get all my variables on one side, all my numbers on the other side, so I'm gonna subtract 2A. That gives me 3A is -9. Multiply 3 in the way, so I divide both sides by 3. These have different signs, and so my answer is a -3. Questions about number 3? Who's made 100 so far? Awesome. Number 4. This problem doesn't have like terms on the left, doesn't have like terms on the right, so I just have to go right straight to getting my variables on one side and then on the other side. You could choose to subtract P from both sides, but if I want my variables to stay positive, I could add 7P to both sides, and 1P plus 7P is 8P.
I thought you had to put a square on it.
Oh, that's a good thought. If it was 1P times 7P, if there were times, then it would be 7P squared.
Well, why don't you do it?
Because now we're adding. We're adding and subtracting. When you're adding and subtracting, you don't change exponents. Remember, when you add and subtract, you can only add and subtract like terms. You can multiply anything. But when you do multiply variable times itself, P times P, X times X is squared. That's what you're thinking of. All right, so now I've got all my variables on the left, take my numbers to the right. Divide by 8. And P is 2. You did this just exactly.
Yeah, I think I put it on there.
You had to. And don't forget that the number on top is the one that goes in the calculator first, so you do your 16 right there.
Is it okay if you like go ahead and like add everything up top before you just bring it down, like instead of writing the +7 and everything, just to make it shorter? Like add it up in your head, is that okay?
There's nothing to add up on the left or the right on this problem, so they're on different sides, and when they're on different sides, you have to use the opposites. That's why this was negative, so I had to add a 17 both sides. It wasn't like the first 3 problems, where I had like terms and everything. Then you would be simplifying before you get to both sides.
That's right.
Alright, number 5. What property is included in number 5? Right, and that's a good place to miss it, right? And so I've got 6 times these, and so 90 would be equal to -6 minus 12x. I'm solving for x, I have to subtract the 6 and I multiply -12 in the way. So to undo this, I add 6 to both sides. Whoops. And 9. Add 6 to both sides. And then divide by -12. What's x? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Yes, good. Who's still making 100 so far?
I didn't make.
You know how we can make 100 on this test for sure is taking the answers and doing what? Plug it in. Plug it in on every variable if there's more than one variable. Alright, number 6. Again, the distributive property. I've got to subtract the 3 and multiply 18 in the way. Add 3 to one side. So if I subtract this, I would get -108. Divide both sides by 18, what do I get? Is it -6? So far so good.
I have a question. So when a negative times negative is a positive,
Yep, right here. Anything else? Number 7. Alright, this one I've got distributed property, and I've got variables on both sides. Remember, you simplify the whole, each side separately, and then start working on both sides. So, bring this down, this is not multiplied by what's in the parentheses, it's separated by a plus or minus sign. Only a number or a variable written beside the parentheses is multiplied by what's on the inside. Then, over here, I have like terms. I'll put those numbers together before I start doing things to both sides. This has got x with it right here. So this is -49x, and what's -8, -21? -29. Alright, if I want to keep my variables positive, I could add 4x, or if I want to keep them positive, I'd add 49x, which is what I'm going to do. So that would be 45x is equal to -29. If I've got all my variables on the left, I take my numbers to the right. What would I have? 45x equals what? And then if I divide by 45, x is -1. Questions about that?
see, I don't know what I did wrong. I got, nothing. Because
Do you have the second step right here?
I put it 24.
You said 7 times 3 is 24?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, that was number 7. Number 8. I've got some distributed property. And honestly, what you said, just messing up on this distributed property right there is a good place to mess up. Alright, we'll add 15x to both sides. So 7x minus 33 is equal to 9. If I've got all my variables on one side, I want my numbers on the other side. So that would be 42. If I 5 divided by 7, what's that?
That's, I got a negative 7.
Would it be negative?
I don't know.
I got five.
Alright, let's look. These are negative, this is positive, that's negative. When I add 15x, I end up with positive 7 right here. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, I didn't
And
do
then
that.
I added 33, and that gave me a positive 42. So I think everything's positive. Alright, number 9. Two distributed properties. So that would be negative 24 minus 64m plus 16 minus 8m. I have a whole lot to do on the right side, right? What would the m's give me? The same stuff you put together.
72. Negative.
Negative 72m, and the numbers,
Negative 8.
very good. Alright, so I've got everything combined. I've got a negative 8 in the way. What will I get when I add 8 to this side?
0.
Which is a number. Don't say that's no solution. Alright, divide by negative 72. If I divide 0 by anything, I get 0.
I actually almost put no solution in
I
that.
put no solution.
But I asked my brother, and he told me, he said, I'll put no solution, and then I checked it on my calculator, I'm like, no.
0 works. 0 works. I don't know why people think 0 can't be a solution. It's just like when we get a fraction, we think, oh, that must be wrong. Alright, number 10. Alright, got two distributive properties. So that would be 15r minus 18 is equal to negative 2r minus 4. So, why did I throw it equal to something? I have no idea. Gee. That was totally confusing. Good H on it. Sorry about that. Alright, how many r's do I have? Put them together. 17 r's? Is it positive or negative? Take the sign of the bigger one. So what about my numbers? What do I have? Negative 22. Alright, there we go. So, we gotta subtract the 22, I'll add 22 to both sides. What would that give me? Divide by 13, what do I get? Negative 4? Yes. Who's still making 100? Who's still doing pretty good?
I'm making 100.
I'm doing
all
okay with that,
too.
too.
So I'm not making 100.
Okay. Alright, number 11. Man, it's roughed up here having two distributive properties, right? Alright, so negative 8x, and here's a good place to miss it. A negative times negative is actually a positive. And then different signs gives me negative, but like signs gives me positive. So I'm finished with the distributive property. I've removed parentheses, but now I've got to combine some like terms. How many x's have I got over here? Put them together. Alright, so now, let's just say, I don't want to make you think you always have to leave your variable positive. So if I have a negative x, you know what people do? They'll say that this answer is negative 2, but it's not, because this is a negative x, and what do I have to do? Alright, so even if you left your variable positive, you should end up with positive 2 for your answer, okay? We good? You good? Keep going, keep going. property. So 4x minus 28 is equal to 4 plus 20x. I can subtract 4x.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Y'all do it, like that way better? So negative 28 is equal to 4 plus 16x. Subtract 4 from both sides. That gives me negative 32. Divide by 16, what's x?
Negative.
Questions? We got 3 more. Alright, number 13. Alright, got a couple of distributed properties. So 2n minus 16 is equal to 64n minus 16. If I subtract 2n, add 16, what's gonna happen?
0 equals 62.
Yeah, so 0 is okay. Divide by 62, still get 0.
I got no solution.
I got to do that one.
Yeah.
I got no
I think I made
solution.
100 on that.
0's in it? Okay,
I don't like zero, it ain't got no value.
it got no value. That's true, but it's still a real number. Okay, when we say no solution, we're saying that there's not a real number that exists that will work.
That's how much money I have.
Yeah. Alright, 14. Alright, distributed property. Distributed property. Alright, let's put these together, what do I get?
Positive.
Some people get confused because there's not a 1 there, but there is, right? I mean, it's understood to be there. Alright, let's use common sense for just a minute, okay? How can I take something here and the same thing here, an equation that's equal, and on this side subtract 8 from it, and on that side add 22, and say that they are still equal? That just makes no sense.
No solution.
And when I subtract 5b from both sides, there's not b left. There is nothing, and this is a false statement, and so there is no solution.
Oh, that's when no solution
That,
happens.
the variables have to cancel, and you have to be left with a false statement and only numbers. Okay? Alright, got one more. Let's see how many got this one. Alright, got a lot of signs going on here. Like signs, different signs. Bring that down, multiply by the -2. Alright, check my sign and your sign and see if there's a sign. Alright, fixed stuff, it needs to be fixed. Okay, so we've got like terms here. What's gonna happen right there?
Just gonna cancel that 8 out.
That's gonna give you 0, isn't it? How many x's do I have left with this? I mean, when you put them together, what have you got? So 3x minus 40 would be equal to, and like he said, those are canceling each other out. And so that's a -2x. Alright, and next, what would I do?
Take away 3x.
Yeah.
That would at least get the variables over here. Now,
That's 5x.
I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna come back and do that in just a minute. What if I had said add 2x?
You get five.
Equals what? Nothing.
How
How do I write nothing? Zero. What people do is they'll take that equal sign and just move it over here in the middle and get 8 or something. Negative.
That's probably what I would've done.
Well, don't. Again, 0 is a number. Don't discriminate against it, just cause it's, like he said, not worth anything, okay? It's still a number, so if I kept on going, I get positive. Whoops, positive. Alright, now if I go back to this right here, and I know what y'all were saying, if I had done this, and take it, if I only have a variable, or I only have a number on this side, then that's what I take for that side. I would totally agree with that.